What is up, guys? Welcome back to Shade and Talk Sports. My name is Shane Dupree, and today I'm going to be talking about a team that I think won this year's NFL offseason, the LA Rams. Now, the Rams are one of the best teams last year because of their offense, which was headlined by Sean McVay, Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Kyron Williams, and more. But their defense did lag, and it ranked 17th in the NFL compared to their offense, which ranked first. To address this problem, they decided to bring in Myles Garrett, Jalen Watson, and Trent McDuffie. And the funny part about these trades to me is that they compromise a boatload of draft picks, but they understand that this is probably going to be Stafford's last year, so the clock is ticking, and they're pretty much a win-now team. Now, on paper, this defense just went from middle of the pack to top 5 within like a month, which is insane. So let's take a look at how these new additions will impact the LA Rams' new defense. First off, let's talk about Myles Garrett, a dominant defender who the Rams got in a trade with the Browns, in which they had to give away one of their best young defenders in Jared Verse and some draft picks. Now, Myles Garrett is currently the best defender in the NFL, as he's won Defensive Player of the Year, and he's broken the single season sack record. Now, we all know what Myles Garrett can do individually. Everybody sees the power, the speed, the finesse, the numbers, and the prestigious awards. But what if I told you the way he benefits the Rams the greatest doesn't have anything to do with how he himself can get into the backfield? I think that Myles Garrett elevates what already was a top 10 Rams defensive line last year because of the attention he draws as a pass rusher. So for those of you who don't watch football, think of the way offensive lines have to guard Myles Garrett like how NBA teams guard Steph Curry when he's roaming around the three-point line. This is also shown through stats as well, where Myles Garrett faced a double team rate of 56.5% and a chip rate of 29.5%, which makes this season that he had even more impressive because offensive game plans were kind of predicated on slowing him down. For the Rams, this means that there will be more rushing lanes for the interior, and for the opposite end of their defensive line, they won't have to blitz as often, and they'll be able to consistently bring more pressure with just running a four-man front. And I want to put a little bit more emphasis on the fact that the Rams don't have to blitz as much, because I think this helps their secondary out a lot schematically in a way that they won't have to be blitzing their corners or safeties as much as they would last year. And I also think that this Rams defensive line has it can have that ceiling just like the Broncos did last year, just like the Texans did last year, and just like the Seahawks did last year, because when you have a defensive line that can create pressure consistently like that, it just boosts the chances that your defense has of creating turnovers, whether that's, somebody wins their one-on-one matchup and they gets into the backfield for a strip fumble, or you just put the QB under so much pressure to the point that he's just making bad reads all game and he's throwing it right to the defense. Next, let's talk about the secondary improvements that the Rams made, which was getting Trent McDuffie in a trade with the Kansas City Chiefs and signing Jalen Watson in free agency. Experience is the most important intangible trait that these two corners have, because they've been on multiple Super Bowl running runs with the Chiefs, and they know what it's like to be a part of a championship winning defense, which is what the Rams are trying to build here. And from a technical standpoint, the film indicates that Watson and McDuffie are impactful defenders because of their patience at the line of scrimmage and their ability to put themselves in ideal positions to defend passes. They also rank top 10 in PFF's run grades amongst corners, which is another positive sign for the Rams' run defense. I think that with the improvements to the defensive line and their secondary, that the Rams are now favorites to not only win the NFC or come out of the NFC, but to also win the Super Bowl. I think they'll be my pick for this upcoming season. Let me know who you guys have going to the Super Bowl in the comments, and if you think that this Rams team can be one of the best in history. Also, let me know any more content or video suggestions you guys have on what I should make a video on next. And make sure you like and subscribe, and I'm out.